Good morning, student, and welcome back again. Today I am going to discuss with you chapter number 3, machine. In the previous part of this same chapter, we have discussed about the mechanical advantage, velocity ratio, and efficiency and the relation between them. Now, today I will discuss with you that the efficiency of an ideal machine is 1 or 100%. Why? Because in case of ideal machine, there is no loss of energy. But actually what happens? There is always some loss of energy. And what is the reason for the loss of energy? That we have already discussed. So in actual practice, there is always some loss of energy. Hence, in actual practice, the efficiency of machine is never equal to 1. It is always less than 1. So keep it in your mind that efficiency of actual machine is always less than 1. Now next topic which I am going to discuss with you is lever. What is lever? Lever is nothing but a simple bar. This bar may be a straight bar or it may be a curved bar. And it has a capacity or capability of turning about an axis. The straight or curved bar which has capacity to turn about a fixed axis is known as lever. And the point about which this axis turns, that point is known as fulcrum. Now see, suppose this is the lever and this is the axis, and this line is this my finger is the fulcrum. So the point about which this axis turn is known as fulcrum. Now next question is, on what principle the lever function? What is the principle of lever? The principle of lever is same as that of principle of moment. What was the principle of moment? According to the principle of moment that I have already discussed with you in first chapter, according to that principle, when the body is in equilibrium, in that case the clockwise moment is always equal to anti-clockwise moment. Keep it in mind, clockwise moment is always equal to anti-clockwise moment. That is the principle of moment. Now let us start with this. Suppose I have a lever, and this is its pivot point, this is the fulcrum F, and here I apply a effort, and suppose here is the load. Here load is applied, here effort is there. Then in that case, what is there according to the principle of moment? This moment, effort will try to turn this lever in the clockwise direction, and load will be turned about the anti-clockwise direction. So you can see load and effort are turning. This is a clockwise moment, this is a anti-clockwise moment, and according to the principle both should be the same. That means clockwise moment should be equal to anti-clockwise moment. Now clockwise moment, moment is force into perpendicular distance. Here in case of effort, force is effort, so effort into perpendicular distance, this distance Fe, and here anti-clockwise moment, here the force is load, so load into perpendicular distance Le. Now this distance from load to fulcrum is known as load arm, and this distance from effort to the fulcrum is known as effort arm. So you can write effort into effort arm is equal to load into load arm. If I rearrange them, then I will see that load upon effort, this upon this, is equal to effort arm by load arm. And one more thing, load upon effort is what? Load upon effort is called mechanical advantage. So you can write mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm upon load arm. This is very important. Mechanical advantage in case of lever is equal to the ratio of effort arm to the load arm. So this is the rule, this is the relation. This law is known as law of lever. This is the law of lever, according to which mechanical advantage is equal to the ratio of effort arm to the load arm. This is there. Now next thing which I am going to discuss with you is types of lever. How many types of lever are there and how this type is decided? There are three types of lever, and what are those? First class lever, second class lever and third class lever. First, second and third class lever. Now how it will be decided which lever is first class lever, which lever is second class lever and which one is third class lever? For that I give you a very simple method. First of all, draw a line. 3 lines you draw. And in the first line, write F in the middle. In the second line, write L in the middle. And in the third line, write E in the middle. There are 3 terms: load, effort and fulcrum. Load, effort and fulcrum. I will write them. L is load, E is effort, and F is fulcrum. So here one term I have written, remaining terms are F I have written, so remaining is load and effort. So load and effort. Here load is written, so fulcrum and effort. Here effort is written, then remaining is load and fulcrum. So here I have drawn 3 figures. Figure number 1, figure number 2, figure number 3. This is first class lever, this is second class lever, this is third class lever, and you can define them as well if you see the diagram. So what is first class lever? First class lever is that lever in which fulcrum is in between the load and effort. Fulcrum is in between load and effort. Second class lever is that class lever in which load is in between fulcrum and effort. Third class lever is that lever in which effort is in between load and fulcrum. So in this way you can easily define first class lever, second class lever and third class lever. So 3 levers are there. One by one we will discuss. Now you can see from here 3 cases may arise. First case is load arm may be less than effort arm, or load arm may be greater than effort arm, or load arm and effort arm may be equal. So if I put this value in this equation, if effort arm is less, if effort arm is greater, if this arm is greater, then mechanical advantage will be greater than 1. Equal load arm is equal to effort arm. In that case, mechanical advantage will be equal to 1. So three possibilities are there. Mechanical advantage may be greater than 1, may be less than 1, or may be equal to 1, depending upon the lever may act as force multiplier, the gain in speed, and so we have discussed all these things. So depending upon these factors, we will see the function of the lever, how the lever will function, whether it will act as a force multiplier or whether it will act as a gain in speed, and so. So first of all, let us discuss first class lever. The first class lever is that lever in which all these three things can happen. That means the first class lever can have mechanical advantage greater than 1, mechanical advantage less than 1, and mechanical advantage equal to 1. Because here in first class lever, the position of fulcrum is in between load and effort, but it is not like that it is exactly in the middle. It may be nearer to the load, it may be nearer to the effort, or it may be in the middle. So all the three cases are possible. Fulcrum may be nearer to the load, nearer to the effort, or it may be exactly in the middle. If the fulcrum is nearer to the load, then effort arm will become greater, mechanical advantage will become greater than 1. If fulcrum is nearer to the effort, then load arm will become greater. In that case, mechanical advantage will become less than 1. And if the fulcrum is in the middle, then load arm is equal to effort arm, then this is also possible. So first class lever is the only lever which can perform all the three functions. It can act as a force multiplier, it can act as gain in speed, it can change the direction as well. So this is there. So let us see what are the example of first class lever. So many examples are there. Seesaw is there, pair of scissors is there, plier is there, spade is there, crowbar is there. So many examples are there of first class. Physical balance is also the example of first class lever. Now we will discuss one by one when it is acting, what is the example when mechanical advantage of the lever is greater than 1, less than 1, and so. First of all, let us take the example when mechanical advantage is greater than 1. Mechanical advantage is greater than 1 in case of first class lever. And when it will happen greater than 1? When fulcrum is nearer to the load. Fulcrum is nearer to the load. For example, a shear which is used to cut the sheets. Shear is always having handles which are greater. Their length is greater, they are larger, and their blades are smaller. Handles are larger, blades are smaller. Since handles are, I can just explain you, otherwise you will not be understanding it. Like this, you can see over here. You can see over here like this. You can see, suppose these are the blades. These are the blades, and these are the handles. You can see handles are longer. You can cut like this. So here the blades are small, handles are long. So effort arm, this is the effort arm. Effort arm is greater than that of load arm. Mechanical advantage is greater than 1. Hence it will act as a force multiplier. So shear for cutting the sheet has longer handle. Why it is that I have explained to you. Crowbar is there, claw hammer is there, pliers, and so many examples are there of where the mechanical advantage is greater than 1, that I have discussed with you. Now second case, when the mechanical advantage is equal to 1. Now you have example, physical balance is the example. Here the fulcrum is in middle, therefore what is there? In that case, mechanical advantage will become the equal to 1. Now what is the case when the mechanical advantage of a lever is less than 1? And you know, when the mechanical advantage is less than 1, then the lever will act as a gain in speed. This happen in one case when you are having a pair of scissors whose blades are longer blades. So since the now this case is like this here. Suppose these two are the blades and these are the handle. In that case, what will happen? The blades will move faster on the cloth. Hence, the speed will be more. So when you are having a pair of scissors which you are using to cut the cloth or paper, in that case, that lever is acting as gain in speed. Its mechanical advantage is less than. Now the next example of gain in speed in case of lever is long oar which is used in the boat. It also gives the gain in speed. And how it is possible, I will show you. Suppose I am having this, suppose this is the oar. Then how I will handle it in the boat. Suppose this is the point where it is with the boat, attached with the boat. So I will use my this hand over here. This is the fulcrum. This is here I will apply the effort, and you can see this distance is more. How I will use it? Like this, you can see, like this. So here what is happening? This distance, this is the effort arm, and this distance, this is the load arm. Load arm is greater, effort arm is less. Hence mechanical advantage is less than 1. Therefore what will happen? This oar will displace the water more, and the gain of the speed will also be more. So in this way the gain of speed is attained. So here it is acting as a gain in speed. Its mechanical advantage is less than 1. So students, today I have discussed with you about efficiency. I have discussed with you the lever, types of lever, and one type I have discussed with you, and that is the first class lever. And this class of lever is very important. Reason is being, this is the only lever in which all the three possibilities are there. Mechanical advantage may be greater than 1, less than 1, or equal to 1. That means it can act as force multiplier, it can act as gain in speed, it can change the direction as well. So all the three functions are performed by this lever. I hope you have understood up to here. In the next part we will discuss some more concept related to machine. But before I say goodbye to you, again I remind you that your study is very important, and during this lockdown period, please keep on study and watch my channel VK Voice. If you have not shared and subscribed, please share and subscribe, and press the bell icon button so that whenever I make the video, you get this